Welcome students. Today we are going to learn another topic in learning model. So yesterday we were discussing Pavilion, Neo Pavilion model and its application. And today we are going to learn about instrumental conditioning theory. So let's see the theory. So instrumental, or we also say operant conditioning, a behavioral theory of learning based on trial and error process, with habits forced as the result of positive experience, that is reinforcement, resulting from certain responses or behavior. So this model explained about consumer always go with the trial and error methods of process, and with the habits forced as always going to one and experience and trying mother and wherever he has experienced very nicely, so that comes as a positive experience and we call it as a reinforcement. And this is based on the notion that learning occurs through trial and error process, with habits formed as a result of rewards received for certain responses or behavior. And it's like classical conditioning. Instrumental conditioning requires a link between a stimulus and a response. So in instrumental conditioning, the stimulus that results in the most rewarded response is the one that is learned. If you take an example, if you visit a store, consumer know which store carry the type of clothing they prefer at a price they can afford to pay. So you have also experienced this, you might know also. So once they find a store that carries clothing that meets their needs, they are likely to patronize it to the exclusion of other stores. So every time they purchase a shirt or a sweater that they really like, their store loyalty is rewarded, that is reinforced, and they are likely to become repeat customer of it, because whenever you have found that where you get the type of cloth you require and you wear the price, the budget which falls under your requirement. And moving to next, the types of reinforcement. So there is a positive, negative, forgetting, and extinction responses. So how it exactly the positive responses comes? So the positive reinforcement rewards a particular behavior and thus strengthens the likelihood of a specific response during the same or similar situation. If we take an example, a child receives an ice cream when passing an ice cream stand and receives pleasure from eating it. So then, whenever he passes by the stand, he asks for an ice cream. So this comes as a positive reinforcement. Now, when we look into the negative reinforcement, so it is the removal of an unpleasant stimulus, and it strengthens the likelihood of a given response during the same or similar circumstances. For example, if you are having an when you are a kid or now also you are having an headache or even you have a cold, and you don't like eating pills or eating tablets. Okay, so what happens? Your mother convince you to take an particular bond, for example, Sinarest, if I say. So she prefer go for a Sinarest, and after eating it, the cold symptoms go away. Okay, and what happens here is your unpleasant stimulus is removed. So next time, whenever you have a cold, so obviously you will be ready to have a pill. Okay, because it will remove your the unpleasant behavior, and next time also you are going to prefer the Sinarest itself. You can say the name also Sinarest because that has removed your unpleasant stimulus. So whenever you see advertisement in TV channels, so always marketers show, for example, Saradon. If you take instant painkiller advertisement, they totally focus on removing of unpleasant behavior. Even if you take Zandubam also, Vicks also, they also try to do advertisement on these spaces. And next comes the forgetting and extinction reinforcement. So before going to forgetting, let's know about the extinction first. So this happened when a learned response is no longer reinforced and the link between the stimulus and the expected reward breaks down. Okay, for example, if you are going to a restaurant, okay, and you are unsatisfied there, so the link between stimulus, okay, the restaurant, and the expected satisfaction is no longer reinforced, and the customer won't come back because they are unsatisfied with that particular services to that particular restaurant. So here behavior that is not reinforced and it becomes unlearned because of the dissatisfaction in the restaurant. Now coming to the forgetting, so it's all about, for example, uh, uh, if you are going to a restaurant, okay, and you used to go there continuously, and what happened is you have not visited a once favorite your restaurant for a long time, so simply forget how much they used to enjoy eating there, and their behavior is unlearned because of lack of user rather than the lack of reinforcement. So if you look at forgetting, it is often related to the passage of time, and thus is also called decay. So what happens in marketers? So marketers overcome forgetting by contacting customers who stopped buying their products and giving them incentives aimed at persuading the customers to start buying their products again. So if you're not visiting any Flipkart or a Snapdeal or somewhere, so after time you will get a mail that you will get the discount of this much. You have coupon of 300. So like that they use so that you come back should not forget their particular website or particular store. Now, looking at the model of instrumental conditioning, that is, if we say here, so stimulus situation, for example, a present situation, if we take, okay, Deepavali is near. So, stimulus situation, if we take, you need a good looking jeans. So, what do? You go to a store, then you try branding, and you are unrewarded because the legs too loose in that particular brand pant. Next, again, you will try another brand, that is B. So again, you are unrewarded because it is tight in your seat. Next, after that, again unrewarded, again you will try the brand C. So here it is, this is like baggy and seat. So next you try again brand D. So here what happens, you are rewarded because it's perfect fit for your particular shape of body. So what happens is you go on to their repeat behavior with the brand D because you are perfectly satisfied with it, and the shape of the jeans also and perfectly fit to you. So this is how the model of instrumental conditioning works. Now again moving further, so instrumental conditioning and marketing. And here if you see the first one, the customer satisfaction and retention we call, and that is used for both, because if customer is satisfied then only he will be retained and reinforcement happen. Okay, marketers reinforce customer satisfaction by consistently providing high quality. So if the best value of the money and the stimulously avoid rising consumers expectation beyond what the products can deliver. So always companies try that they have to attract through prices, and they have to have the broader product lines where the customer will be more satisfied. So companies, what they do, they create a personal connection with the customers and offer diverse product line and competitive prices, because these are the most effective reinforcements which bring about repeat patronage. So here matters a lot about the customer satisfaction, and automatically it will lead to the retention. Now coming to the reinforcement schedule. So product quality must be consistently high and satisfy customer every time they buy the product. Okay, because but if sometime what happened, but additional reward do not have to be offered during every transaction. Okay, because occasional reward often effectively reinforce consumer. If you continuously giving them offers, so the connection will be lost, and you can say more offer means there is a less quality. Okay, sometimes rare time if you're the company is giving offers, then it will be taken as an reinforcement schedule, because it creates the reinforcement of the consumer and it patronage. For example, if you see, if you are going to an airlines, occasionally upgrade a passenger at the gate. So here the possibility of receiving a reward is the reinforcement and incentive for continued patronage. So in reinforcement schedule, we will have three types: continuous reinforcement and fixed ratio in reinforcement, variable ratio. So if you look at continuous reinforcement, so after having, it's like rewarding after each transaction. Okay, if you, for example, if I say, if continuously you are purchasing from Flipkart, so they will give you some points which can be used for reducing the prices also. So that is act as a continuous reinforcement. Okay, now coming to the fixed ratio reinforcement, so it is giving like nth time. Okay, if you purchase 15th item, fifth item, so you will get such type of offer. Okay, for example, some vouchers will be given to you because you are loyal customer, 3 months, 4 months, or something. Now coming to the variable ratio reinforcement, so this is like scheduled rewards consumers on a random basis. Okay, yes, the special example for this is like a gambling. Okay, or gambling, or some games which come online, you move it, whatever comes to you, you get the chance of getting it free of cost. So this comes as a variable ratio enforcement. So if there is a wheel in, you might have seen in Amazon, you can spin the wheel, so you can get some discounts, you can win something. So this is all about the variable ratio reinforcement. Now coming to the shaping. So shaping is all about perform reinforcement performed before the desired consumer's behavior actually takes place is called shaping. So what happens is shaping increases the probability that certain desired consumer behavior will occur. If you see the example, so if you are become a retailer, so you must first attract the customer. Before that, the customer should buy the bulk product from you. So first, customers should get in, the footfall should increase, then they can purchase a bulk from you. So many retailers provide some form of preliminary reinforcement shaping to encourage customer to visit their store. Example, if you say offer of loss leader, popular product at fairly discounted price, okay, to the first 100 or so customers arrive, because those customers are likely to buy more products at the store rather than only buy discounted items. If any new store is coming, you might have experienced this. When they come with the loss leader pricing policy. They attract people, fall there because there is a huge offer going on, and they will purchase in a bulk. So first there should be an attraction, and then you can make sure that the consumer will purchase products in bulk. Now comes the massed versus distributed learning. So what exactly happened in massed versus distributed learning? So it's all about giving experience in distributed way or a bunched up. Okay. So when it is distributed, so it is distributed learning, and when it is given in a bunch, then it comes as a massed learning. Okay, so why it is important is advertiser planning media schedule, because mass advertising produces more initial learning, whereas distributed schedule usually results in learning that persists longer. Okay, so because they are learning step by step by step by step, so it will persist longer time. So when advertiser want immediate impact, so introducing a new product or to counter a competitor campaign. So they generally use a master schedule to hasten consumer learning. So however, when the goal is long-term repeat buying on a regular basis, a distributed schedule is preferable. So it depends on the company, what type of marketing they are planning. If they are going for competition to something, they can refer the master learning. And if no, they are looking for the long-term repeat buying, then they can go to the distributed learning process. So this was all about the instrumental conditioning theory.